This is Max Williams with United Real Estate today. I'm in Eastern Henrico. More specifically, I'm off the Mechanicsville Turnpike corridor. Today we're going to take a look at a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome. This townhome was built in 2002. It is in a Ryan Home subdivision, and back then they had 2 floor plans for townhomes. One had the kitchen in the middle of the unit, the other had the kitchen in the back of the unit. There have been a number of upgrades done over time. However, this home does need a little bit of TLC. It is priced right. It is priced below tax assessment. Below tax assessment. And I wanted to chat a little bit today about real estate terminology and some concepts related to those terms. I hit you guys last time with a pretty heavy video, so I wanted to lighten it up here a little bit. I do have a number of people that call, and it seems like some of these concepts we constantly get mixed up, so I wanted to help demystify the process. In many cases, things that you understand, you have less fear of. And I know a lot of people watching are thinking about buying their first home, but they're just a little scared. And so my job is to bring you up to speed with some of these concepts and terms so you fully understand going in what they mean. A tax assessment is simply the number put on a property for tax purposes, and it's put on the property by the local taxing authority, commonly a city or a county. As with many things in local government, it's not a real efficient process. You've got somebody sitting at a computer that's doing mass valuations of a bunch of properties that they've never even seen. So hard to do that. A tax assessor's job is pretty tough. In most cases locally, that assessment is going to come in below typically what fair market value will be. That's not always the case. It's definitely not something that you want to rely on as far as fact. Now, the tax assessor does the assessments. A real estate appraiser does appraisals. Appraisals are typically only ordered when somebody wants to buy a house, and that appraisal is required by the lender. Or if somebody wants to do a refinance, sometimes they will order an appraisal to get true market value of a property. Those appraisals are pretty detailed. That appraiser has to compare the subject property to at least 3 other properties that have sold in the area, and they will do all types of calculations. They'll adjust for square footage, condition, if one has a garage and one doesn't, and many other factors. So you know that appraisal typically is going to be much more accurate than an assessment. So that is the difference between appraisals and assessments. Now, a lot of people get mixed up when we're talking about real estate appraisals and home inspections. That real estate appraiser that comes out, they are looking at a few things. They're going to measure the home. They're going to make sure the systems work from a standpoint of, does hot water flow? Does cold water flow? Does the electricity work? And do the lights work? That's pretty much it. Heat and air. If heat is in the property, it's needed in order to get financing. Air is optional, so a home does not have to have AC in order to be financed. It does have to have heat in order to be financed. They're going to check when appropriate to make sure that the heat works. So those are some of the minimum things that an appraiser is going to look at. They are not looking at things from a standpoint of, is it house safe to a great extent? Do all of the smaller systems work? They're not looking at those types of things. So you could have a home that had major issues and still passes the cursory inspection that the home appraiser is doing. Okay, that is going to cover the difference there. This is one of the smaller bedrooms. This would be a great home office or nursery. You're not going to get much more than probably a twin-size bed in these 2 front bedrooms. Once you've been doing this for a while, you get really good at some things. And I can tell you, that stain there, that's Prego. That stain there, that's Ragu. And it really takes a true professional to be able to tell the difference. One of the things that I'm definitely proud of in my career. I can also share with you that a new buyer probably would want to change out the carpet here on the 2nd floor. Okay, we have just hit the 2 smaller bedrooms. We're going to hit the master after we take a look at the hall bath. Nice looking hall bath here. One of the other concepts that I wanted to chat about was cash to close. Cash to close is simply the cash that you need to go to the closing table with in order to buy your real estate. You'll know that number, typically you'll know it specifically to the penny a day or two before closing, but you'll have a really, really close estimate well before that. Cash to close is a combination of your down payment, if any, and the closing costs, if any. And the reason I say if any is that there will be closing costs with every transaction. It goes to pay the people and the companies that make the transaction happen, as well as the local government and a number of other entities. However, we can get the seller to pay part or all of your closing costs. I'm doing a transaction right now. We eliminated the closing costs for my buyer because we're getting the seller to pay for them. Seller got more money than my buyer, and that's why he's going to pay for them on her behalf in this transaction. Down payment. Down payment is going to be dictated by the lender. The lender's loan product will dictate how much the down payment is, if any. FHA, which is a common route for many buyers to go, is going to have a 3.5% down payment. VA, my fellow veterans, you guys and gals don't pay anything for a down payment. It's 100% financing. USDA has a program that's 100% financing. VHDA has a 100% product as well. So I say all that to say that you might or might not have a down payment. My buyer that we just got under contract, she's going to come to the table with just a few $100s, if that. It's very, very doable. I do it all the time. In fact, she's going to walk away with about $18,000 worth of things paid for by other entities and people. Grant monies, we're stacking grant money for her. We're getting the seller to pay me a huge, huge chunk towards closing. She's just racking up on free stuff. And I'm proud to be her buyer's agent. If you have any questions for me, Max Williams, 402-7788. It'll be my honor to help. I can be reached on Facebook, under Richmond Area Foreclosures, on YouTube, under my name, Max Williams. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you would be kind enough. Thanks so much for taking the tour. Have a great day.